great again. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we bring in a dear friend of mine. He saves the world one person at a time through his physical therapy, and now he's saving Howland one day at a time on the diamond. Ladies and gentlemen, Britt Taylor. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Not much. I'm still laughing at the skank analogy.
She is. She's a
Yeah.
dirty skank. I'm not. I'm just gonna put it out there. But well, let's start there. I mean, you guys, when you get on the diamond, you are rocking it. But how challenging has it been for you to kind of cancel and get these kids up and down and up and down and getting yourself mentally prepared for whether you're playing a game at 5 o'clock or not?
Yeah, that's always tough. And just kind of, you got to basically be on it as far as, especially with pitching, just making sure that the kids are getting the work and staying loose and being ready. And that's baseball here in Northeast Ohio. That's one of the reasons we went down to Tennessee to get some competition before the season started, for sure. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, we were talking off air about that competition in Tennessee, and you had some scrimmages before that here in the area where you were really dominating teams that you were scrimmaging, and then you go into Tennessee, and like you said, competition level went way up, and there's a little bit of a reality check, but then you come back here and you immediately hit the ground running. Do you think that trip to Tennessee is beneficial to the start you had here in the area?
A little bit. I think the competition, getting the at bats in for all of the players on the varsity squad, getting that in, getting basically that, and that was our goal. We wanted to get that competition in before the season started. Last year, we had a little bit of a hard time getting the bats going until later in the season, and so the whole goal was to get that started early this year, so we could be, like you said, hit the ground running. But
I
the
think one of the cool.
competition,
Oh, yeah,
go ahead. The competition was unreal. Those kids, they play year round down there. A lot of the teams we faced had already had 18 games under their belts. And like we played schools, Spencer Strider's school, Lane Thomas's school. Um, the competition was incredible. And I told the boys, I said, look, even if we make it to the final game of the season, I said, you're not going to see what you just saw down there.
Well, I mean, and you want to say prepare for that, right? But it's hard to hit
Yeah,
that right out of the jump when they're already on game 18.
yeah,
When they take you on, they've been able to kind of tighten the screws up a little bit. One of the things that I've always admired about you, Britt, is you always make it fun. And
yeah.
especially at the varsity level now, it is a challenge to get people to let their hair down a little bit and to play what is a kid's game in
Yeah.
baseball. So, was it challenging for you when you took over? I mean, I saw you guys playing wiffle ball and some of these things there during the break and during the downtimes. When it did rain, what was that like to change that culture within to make baseball fun again? It sounds weird to say.
No, I think it's just, the kids, first of the kids have been great. As far as culture, the biggest thing that we needed to do there was just create discipline, which was really kind of lagging, or there was a lack of that. So we had to fix that, as well as creating a culture of positivity, not being afraid of failure, and just hey, let's fail, let's make mistakes, let's go out there, and then let's get over it and learn from it. And just creating that culture was the biggest thing. But at the same time, hey, let's have fun. As long as we have the discipline, as well as the focus, I let the kids enjoy it and have as much fun as possible.
But I remember last year when we talked to you for your season preview, you had one senior last year, and you were talking about how leadership was going to be important. Non-senior leadership was going to be important for this team. And it's kind of the same boat this year. We have three seniors who are all great leaders, but there's still kids that are under them that are juniors, sophomores, freshmen, what you do, that have to step up and be leaders of this team. Talk about the progression in leadership you've seen from this year from last year to this year.
Well, I tell you what, that's a great question. And our three seniors this year, Aiden Anders, Dom Santi, and Luca Franzaglio, they've been fantastic. They have taken the role. Um, uh, they have been absolutely huge, as well as, our junior class, Stephen Bubon, I could name them all. And Tennessee was absolutely fantastic for really bringing the whole squad together and that leadership aspect. Um, and then on the sophomore team, I mean, we have a ton of sophomores that are starting, but Braden Kovarik has really stepped up and been a huge leader for the crew as well. But that camaraderie that was created down there was absolutely huge.
Everybody talks about your conference, the AAC, and they look at that and they go, okay, well, you got Boardman, you got Fitz, you got Canfield, and all of a sudden, here come the Howland Tigers, shaking things up a little bit and letting people know not only do you exist, but you are a force to be reckoned with. When you're going into the meat of the season here, we think with Mother Nature being what, to be under the radar is one thing, but I feel like especially with that game that you guys are in the midst of right now against West Branch, 13-1 after 3. I think that you've collected some eyes on your program, my friend. Do you expect some anticipated, bullseyes on your chest and on your back at the same time as you head into conference play?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's cool. We welcome it, and the AAC it's a tough conference, but at the same time, and we struggled with some of the games. The Canfield games were close last year, as well as the Fitch games, except for one. The boys really they're going out there and playing with a chip on their shoulder after last season because I kind of felt like they there was a little bit of a lack of recognition of some of their achievements from the conference, and they felt like that as well. And they're going out there and playing with a total chip on their shoulder, and their attitude is, "Let's go, bring it." And I love it. I love it.
I mean, we saw that with the first conference game. You go to Fitch and you win 17-4. You talked about last year the offense took some time to get going. You had 17 runs against Finch. You're right now at 13 runs against West Branch in a game that needs to be continued. The bats are alive. Talk about the offense and the lineup and what you're seeing out of the hitters on your team.
Yeah, the Luca Franzaglio, our leadoff spot, as well as Bodie Biggins there at the top. I knew that was going to be solid. They bring some power, some speed. Dom Santi as well. Dom hit close to 400 last year. We've got him in the 3 spot with Braden Kovarik behind him. Kovarik, who's just a sophomore, is an absolute beast. And then, Aiden Anders, of course, is a senior, but another one, we had him initially half the season last year, Richie Ansel, who was an absolute beast in the Fitch game. Richie was hitting 600 in JV last year, and we were like, oh, we need to bring him up to varsity. And he just hit 400 with the varsity squad. But I think he had like 5 or 6 RBIs in the Fitch game, as well as, we've got some other young guys behind him. And there's so many other kids that are going to get reps that I didn't name. We've seen a big jump with Burgess as well, Isaiah Burgess, improvement since last year. So we really feel strongly that we don't have a real weak spot in that lineup from top to bottom, which is really, I've coached some good summer teams down at Scene, but where sometimes you'll have weak spots in those lineups, but it's really rare to see that in a high school lineup where you go from 1 to 9 and you really feel confident as a coach that anybody in any of those spots can bring it.
Britt, we've seen you do it seemingly everywhere you go. We saw you do it with the prospects during summer ball. You're doing it with Howland here, at the varsity level. For you, I've always seen you as someone who is huge into fundamentals, but is aggressive as the day is long. So fundamentally aggressive. What's the secret sauce for you? Is it just that you do the everyday things very, very, very well and better than everybody? Or is it the aggressive part of it that you're going to do it better than anybody and you're going to shove it down their throat?
Yeah, I mean, we focus on the fundies. That's a big part of what we do every single day. And not just, fielding and hitting, but also base running, which is a huge part of our game. I love the old style baseball. I love, bunting and stealing bases and hit and run and squeeze plays. That stuff's fun. Just sitting there and trying to hit home runs all day. That's not fun. Nobody likes to watch those games. I enjoy aggressive style of baseball, and I just wherever I go, that's what we try to practice.
All right. So anytime your team hits a home run, I better not see you celebrating because you just said that's not
Yeah.
fun, right?
Well, we had
It's no fun.
Dom Santee. Dom Santee hit a grand slam down in Tennessee. We had a
Made him do
15.
push-ups.
Yeah, we had a 15
How
to
dare-
we had a 15 to 14 game with this
Ooh.
team, William Blount High School down in Tennessee, and I honestly think we could have came back and won that game, but it got, I think it was only after 4.5 innings. It was 15 to 14, and they called it because of a time limit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And
One of the things I want to talk about, Britt, is just we're talking about the fundamentals and how much you strive to make those fundamentals. I wonder, like, what is your typical kind of practice like? Well, what kind of things do you like to do, drill wise, practice wise? What are some of your favorite drills, especially on defense, to get these fundamentals into your
give
kids?
him away, Britt. Give him away.
Yeah, I mean, we try to hit everything. Every single practice, we try to hit a little bit of everything. We spend time every day as far as with our pitchers, our hitters. We work fundies as far as infield, outfielders. Everybody gets a little bit of that every single day, and then base running. Base running is absolutely huge, and so we work on that every single day. We don't let anything go. So I think that's the big, and you got to create balance. You got to create balance on a regular basis. There's so much to cover. There's so much to this game. A lot of times people don't realize that, and you can't, you can't let any of that go.
How do you anticipate? I mean, you're seeing success in the early going. How do you anticipate staying hungry? I mean, it's we've all been there, right? You're hungry for money, for sales, whatever it may be in your profession, for success, and then your belly gets full a little bit when you find that success. If you guys are finding success, how do you stay hungry throughout the rest of the season?
Well, that's a good question. You got it. It's really got to come down to the kids. The kids have got to want it. The kids have got to want that success, and I think they do. One of the things the kids talk about and I talk about is, they look up on the wall in the gym and they see, they don't see as many championship banners under the baseball flag, and they want to change that, and that's their goal. They want to go out there and prove Howland baseball, and they want to stop good baseball talent from leaving and going to this other Catholic school that's in Trumbull County, which is mostly made up of Howland kids. And they want to stop those things from happening.
We would never let these coaches' interviews go without letting you talk about the staff and the members of the administration that kind of have your back that you've been able to lean on during building this program. Who are some people that are really important to Allen baseball's success to go beyond yourself?
Well, my coaching staff is absolutely huge. Josh Sweepus is one of our assistants. Josh has been with us for years, and actually, he is kind of a family friend, and he's helped me actually with some of my summer teams as well. He's absolutely fantastic with the kids. He works with our catchers and our hitters as well. We've got some new faces this year. Frankie Manios, a prospect, as well as a Howland Tiger, is back working with the infield and the hitters and the pitchers, as well as Matt Schultz. Matt is back, or actually his first year. Matt was a former Tiger as well, and he's working with our pitchers as well as our outfielders. So those guys have been helping. I've got Mason Baez helping out with the JV crew, as well as Jim Newbrow. But the core, Josh McCleary, who was with us last year, is with us again this year, working with our outfielders. Again, a former Tiger.
Britt, we can't thank you enough for stopping by the show today, carving out some time for us. Dude, congratulations on all your success so far. We're looking forward to seeing how this roller coaster ride goes for you, brother. We're in your
Thanks,
corner.
guys. Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Go save
All
some
right.
more lives. We're proud of you. Ladies and
Thanks,
gentlemen,
fella.
Britt Taylor. Whew. Man, They're playing some good ball, Ant. They're
They
playing
are.
some good ball, and man, to go down to Tennessee and play teams that are already 18 games under their belt, I mean, that's a tall task. That is a big moment.
18 games, and like you said, down there, they're able to play pretty much all year round. They might have like a 2-month span of winter where it gets a little bit too much to play baseball, but in Tennessee and more south, you get that really small winter. We're still having it here today, here in April up here in Ohio. In Tennessee, it's pretty much out of there by February.